These bad dads make it hurt.
What's up, neighbors? Welcome back to the Gent Next Door. My name is Tinashe. I'm a professional fashion stylist and costume designer, and this channel is about giving you the unique style for your life goals. Please like and subscribe to this channel for plenty more content to come. I talk a lot on this channel about how to build a great wardrobe in the same way that you would build anything valuable in your life, such as a relationship or an investment portfolio. It is well documented that as a global community, we need to find ways to produce, market, and consume fashion in a sustainable way. Looking after your wardrobe is one of the ways in which we can ensure that not only do we buy high quality clothes, but the better we look after them, the longer they'll last and the less we'll throw away and consume clothes in an unsustainable way. It means that you and I have a crucial role to play, not only in how and where we buy our clothes, but how we look after them when we have them and what we do when the clothes reach the end of their cycle and how we move those clothes on to the next stage. Besides, what's the point of spending time watching videos like this and money building a great wardrobe if you're not going to look after it? First key point you need to be aware of is that natural fabrics need to breathe. So those are fabrics like wool, cotton, and leather. Stuffing those kind of fabrics in your drawers with no air to breathe is not doing them any favors. They need to breathe. For all you shoe collectors and sneakerheads out there, leaving your shoes wrapped up in tissue and in a box is not doing the leather any favors at all. Leather is a natural fiber, and again, it needs to breathe. So let's talk about the clothes that you need to hang. Suit jackets and blazers can be hung on a closed or open wardrobe. If it is an open wardrobe, you want to get breathable suit jackets to cover them. That protects them from mold or from things like fluff getting on them if you've got pets particularly. You also want to hang up your suits and blazers on broad hangers rather than a narrow sort of wire hanger. This means that the suit is more likely to keep hold of its shape and also minimize the effects that gravity will have, particular natural fibers such as wool. Never hang your trousers up on clip hangers. It's not good for the trousers for holding their shape. Always hang them on a conventional hanger with a bar across it. You want to fold your trousers about a third way up. That way it keeps its form and keeps the creases nice and crisp. And what about shirts? To hang or not to hang? That is the question. There is a bit of a debate out there on whether it's better to hang your shirts or whether to fold them up neatly and put them on a shelf or in a drawer. In my opinion, shirts should be hanged up. Heat is the enemy of fabric, so reducing the amount of stress you're putting your fabrics through by the way of ironing them means that your shirt is likely to retain its color and its vitality longer. So hanging your shirt means that you iron it once until you wear it again, rather than having to put some heat through it yet again to get rid of any creases. Let's talk about things that you need to actually fold away. T-shirts and polos. Most of these are made of a cotton blend or polyester blend. Again, I would put T-shirts in the fold category. I'll fold them neatly and put them in a drawer or in a shelf. Again, you don't want to overpack the drawer to a point where it's almost like a vacuum in there where there's no air to circulate. Fibers need air to breathe, so keep it in a well spaced out shelf or drawer so that those T-shirts can breathe. But I would fold them and not hang them. For your jumpers and sweaters, again, particularly if they're made of wool or cashmere, there's two natural enemies to wool, and that's water and gravity. So hanging your jumpers up on a hanger is it's basically slow suicide for those garments. You want to fold them up and put them in a well spaced out cool shelf that will prolong their life and prolong their shape and form as well. What about underwear and socks? Well, personally, I separate my underwear and socks. I also iron my underwear as well, which is kind of weird to some of you guys, but I do because I find it more comfortable when I put it on. But it's up to you whether you want to separate your socks and your underwear rather. It makes no difference, but just make sure again you put them in a drawer that's nicely spaced out where there's a bit of air for them to breathe, just to look after those fibers. So now let's talk about washing your clothes. Really important to understand and pay attention to the tags that you get in your clothes. A little plastic tab that you're all aware of. And I would say just do exactly as it says on the tin. Don't try and be clever. If it says non-machine wash, then hand wash that garment at the temperature suggested. If it's machine wash only, then by all means wash it in the washing machine. And of course, if it's dry clean only, take it to the dry cleaners accordingly. When it comes to the washing machine, there's just two main key points that you need to be aware of They sound quite simple, but you'd be amazed how many times we get it wrong. Cold wash preserves the color of your garment. Hot wash, while it promotes the softness of your clothes, it also wears away at the color and the vitality of your garments. Something to be aware of in terms of temperature. Again, check the labels, check the recommended temperature. You want to wash your clothes at a lower temperature than what's recommended if you want to preserve the color and the vitality of the fibers. When it comes to your shirts, particularly those of you who work in the office and wear white shirts or light colored shirts, if there's any staining on the shirt, pre-treat the stains before you put them in the washing machine. You can find special detergents which you can apply to a stain before you put it in the washing machine, so I would recommend that approach. Smart shirts should be machine washed and seldom dry cleaned. At the dry cleaners, the machines that your dry cleaner would use to iron or steam the shirts are unforgiving basically, and wear away again at the color and the vitality of your fabrics. What you want to do is, if you are going to take your shirts to the dry cleaner, request that those shirts are steam ironed by the dry cleaner. Steaming is much gentler on your shirts rather than the big machine washes. So if you are going to take it to the dry cleaners, maybe you're a busy person and you just don't have the time, or you can't bother to put them in your washing machine, then get them steam washed by your dry cleaner if you can. If you do have a dryer or a washer dryer, go ahead and use them. The key thing is use them properly and use them sparingly. Remember, excessive heat is the enemy of fabrics and clothes. So as soon as the dryer finishes its cycle, get the clothes out of the firing pot as quickly as possible and allow them to cool down as quickly as possible. Besides, I would recommend for you to try and get your clothes to air dry as much as possible, and only use your dryer as a last resort or simply for convenience if you simply just don't have the time in your busy schedule. And finally, let's talk about ironing. I don't care if you still live with your parents, I don't care if you're single or married, you should learn how to use an iron, because you're an adult and you're a grown-up, and it's something that all grown-ups know how to do. There is simply no excuse for wrinkled clothing. So get yourself an iron, the best one you can afford, and learn how to properly iron, particularly those men who are wearing shirts. It's unforgivable to have a shirt that's crinkly in this day and age. Simple as that.